Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin to launch NASA Mars mission soon. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin to launch NASA Mars mission soon. Let's get right into it. The tech mogul space race is heating up, with recent victories by Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. Blue Origin, Bezos' private space company, announced that it has won a NASA contract to send it on a mission to Mars. In order to study the planet's magnetic fields, Blue Origin's rocket will orbit Mars. This is Blue Origin's first interplanetary contract, as the company's New Glenn vehicle has not yet been launched, and it is in direct competition with vehicles developed by Elon Musk's SpaceX. In an important test that took place not too long ago, SpaceX was successful in starting up 31 out of the Super Heavy booster's 33 engines. This is encouraging news for the Starship, which the company hopes will one day transport people to Mars. According to a recent article published in Fortune by Tristan Bove, Elon Musk has recently been positioned as the man in charge of the private space industry. Bove noted that in 2021, SpaceX beat out competition from Blue Origin to secure a $2.9 billion government contract to fly NASA astronauts to the moon with its Starship rocket by the year 2025. According to what Bove wrote, because of Starship's reusability and powerful engines, SpaceX could dominate space exploration for decades to come. The New Glenn vehicle is Blue Origin's best bet to compete with SpaceX and other companies in the space industry. However, the launch date for this vehicle has been consistently delayed over the past few years. The year 2020 was originally planned to be the debut year for the product, but this was later moved to the year after that and then again to 2022. At the end of March of the year before, Blue Origin's senior vice president for New Glenn predicted that it would not take place before the end of the year. This time, it is aiming for a launch in the latter half of 2024 from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida with NASA's Escapade mission, which will involve 2 spacecraft. Escapade will arrive at Mars after an 11-month journey to study the planet's magnetosphere. Escapade is made up of 2 identical spacecraft that will collect data on how the planet's magnetosphere interacts with solar wind and how plasma and energy move through its magnetic field. Both probes will carry 3 instruments: a magnetometer to measure Mars's magnetic field, an electrostatic analyzer to measure ion and electron behavior, and a Langmuir probe to measure plasma characteristics in the Martian magnetosphere. Rocket Lab is developing the Escapade twin probes in collaboration with the University of California, Berkeley Space Science Laboratory. The Escapade carrying New Glenn is scheduled to launch in January 2024. The Blue Origin rocket has a reusable first stage that can withstand 25 missions, as well as 7 reusable BE-4 engines. The BE-4 engines run on liquefied natural gas and have an oxygen-rich preburner. Blue Origin has repeatedly postponed the launch of New Glenn, with an initial launch scheduled for 2020. Following the failure of a scheduled 2022 launch, New Glenn's most recent delay pushed the first launch to sometime in 2023. As a result, NASA is relying on a rocket that has yet to take flight. If the first launch of New Glenn does not go well, it will be bad news for the Escapade mission. Blue Origin is under pressure because the company has never launched a rocket into orbit. Blue Origin has completed some successful and widely publicized suborbital flights, but no company spacecraft has ever made it to orbit, a fact that Bezos' competitor Elon Musk relishes in emphasizing. Blue Origin and NASA have previously collaborated on other projects, such as a 2020 contract for the space agency to use New Glenn for future launch services. Contracts to develop lunar lander concepts for the Artemis 3 mission were awarded to Blue Origin, SpaceX, Dynetics, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman in 2021. NASA eventually went with SpaceX and its commercial space station concepts for NASA as the space agency and its international partners prepare to decommission the International Space Station in 2030. Having said that, the 2 parties' relationship has not been without hiccups. After losing the lunar contract bid to SpaceX, Blue Origin filed a lawsuit against NASA, which it ultimately lost. The contract's value is unknown. Meanwhile, the value of the launch contract was not yet disclosed by NASA or Blue Origin, but Space News obtained it from a federal procurement database. The contract is worth $20 million in total, with $6 million already committed. According to a paper prepared for last year's Lunar and Planetary Science Conference, the total budget for the Escapade mission, including launch costs and project reserves, is $78.5 million. According to Reuters, NASA deemed that information proprietary, and Blue Origin declined to discuss financial details. However, Blue Origin is a participant in NASA's venture-class acquisition of Dedicated and Rideshare Missions program, which assigns lower-cost missions to rockets with no track record. 13 companies are splitting $300 million under this program for a variety of non-critical missions. NASA said when announcing the award, these small satellites and Class D payloads tolerate relatively high risk and serve as an ideal platform for technical and architecture innovation. So NASA is ready for the risk. If everything goes as planned, New Glenn will spend 11 months traveling to Mars and a few more months gathering data. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.